AMD's Ryzen 7 launch has been met with a huge amount of fanfare, excitement, skepticism, analysis, and hope. The general consensus among reviewers is that the chip that emerged as the true winner from that lineup is the Ryzen 7 1700, a $329 MSRP chip that offers somewhere between 90 to 95% of the performance of the flagship 1800X at a $170 price delta. With that being said though, the entire Ryzen 7 lineup is targeted at the enthusiast market, with all of the chips sporting 8 cores and 16 threads. At the time of the Ryzen 7 launch, AMD promised us that we'd be seeing the lower core and thread count Ryzen 5 lineup sometime in Q2 of 2017, but didn't offer many details beyond that. Well, that all changed this morning when AMD invited some members of the media to a conference call that was all about their mainstream processor line. We now know all the juicy details, and I'm going to let you all in on them in this video. With the Ryzen 5 lineup, AMD is specifically targeting the sub-$300 market, currently dominated by Intel's i5 stack. Consistent with previous information released, all Ryzen 5 chips will come multiplier unlocked and with Sense MI, allowing for intelligent, real-time performance analysis and precision boost through XFR. In fact, one of the new chips will offer a 200 MHz XFR range, higher than any we've seen so far from the enthusiast CPUs. Ryzen 5 is offered in two tiers. The entry-level Ryzen 5 chip is the 1400. This is a 4-core, 8-thread chip with a base and boost clock of 3.2 and 3.4 GHz respectively. It will have a 65-watt TDP and come with a Wraith Stealth cooler at what looks like a very aggressive price of $169. Now, Intel's i7 mainstream line all have 4 cores and 8 threads, but the cheapest variant has a locked multiplier and an MSRP of over $300. In fact, the most comparable product price-wise in Intel's lineup is an i3. The step up in the 4-core 8-thread lineup is the 1500X. This is the chip that will offer a full 200 MHz of XFR headroom on top of the 3.5 to 3.7 GHz out-of-the-box frequencies. It is also a 65-watt TDP part, but will come with the non-LED variety of the Wraith Spire cooler we first saw bundled with the Ryzen 7 1700. MSRP on it will be $189. If you want a few more cores and threads, the entry-level 6-core chip is the 1600. At $219, this looks to compare extremely favorably to Intel's entry-level 6-core chip, the 6800K, and does so with the same low 65-watt TDP as the other chips. It will also come with the Wraith Spire cooler that has proven itself to be a worthy recipient of the Wraith name, although for overclocking headroom, an AIO or beefy air cooler is recommended. With a nice cooler strapped to your board, you're likely to be able to achieve higher frequencies than the ships with out of the box 3.2 to 3.6 GHz. The flagship Ryzen 5 processor is the 95-watt 1600X. Unfortunately, this is the only SKU that won't be bundled with a cooler, but running at 3.6 to 4 GHz with overclocking potential means that you'll likely be better off with an aftermarket one anyway. This chip is also 6 cores and 12 threads and can be yours for the price of an i5 7600K, $249. AMD also showed a slide comparing this chip to the 7600K in Cinebench, with the 1600X just laying the smackdown, but I honestly don't think that's a really fair comparison given that the 1600X has literally 3 times the number of threads that the 7600K does. That's not to say that I won't run the same tests though, just for funsies. So taking a look at the Ryzen 5 lineup, there's a really nice range here of performance and price. Consumers overwhelmingly buy sub-$300 processors by a margin of 2 to 1 over enthusiast products, and AMD is smart to target this market segment as they have. These chips will be focused on the B350 chipset, which will still allow overclocking but remove the capability to run multi-GPU setups. You'll be able to find these online and in stores on April 11th, meaning that not only did AMD meet their target of Q2, they're introducing this entire new product line only 11 days into their 90-day target window. Good job, guys. As with the Ryzen 7 launch, I'll have full coverage of Ryzen 5 here on the channel, so get subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.